purpose for you. And that is that you are making the most of your precious gift of another day, your golden opportunity. Decisions, decisions, decisions. We make thousands of decisions a day. From what we want to eat, to what we want to wear, to where we want to go, to what we want to do with our lives. Now these decisions, of course, range from small to large, to having no effect, to having a major effect on our lives. And for today's conversation, I want to talk about the large decisions. I want to talk about the decisions that have a major effect on our lives. Now I'll share a time with you when I had to make a major decision, and a decision that I knew would have a major effect on my life. And it all came about 2 years into college when I realized that I was not going to have the money to continue. I was a full-time student working part-time at a YMCA, and I was living with my parents who were doing the best that they could to help me out. But all in all, the realization was that I was not going to be able to continue. So having had talked to some friends and family members, the topic of joining the military came up. You know, I heard the pros of the military, I heard the cons of the military, but something that really stuck with me was the educational benefits. I knew my goal was I wanted to graduate from college. Was it all going to happen when I wanted it to? No, but we know life is like that. Sometimes it just throws that curveball to our plans. So after having talked to several people, weighing the pros, weighing the cons, I made a decision. And that decision was to enlist into the Air Force. And I'm not saying this to promote the Air Force or sell the Air Force. I'm just sharing this story because I want you to see that oftentimes in life, when we are faced with these major decisions that affect our lives, we already know the answers to it. We already know what we should do as opposed to what we want to do. See, in making this decision, did I want to stay at home in my comfort zone? Yes. Did I want to stay with my friends? Yes. Did I want to stay in a place that I knew and I was familiar with? Yes. But in my wanting, would that get me to where I should be? And that was, I should have my degree. I should get my degree. It's too much opportunity out here in the world not to have my degree. So I did it. I made the decision to enlist into the Air Force. And I will tell you, the very first night that I laid in bed, I thought to myself, Stephanie, what the hell were you thinking? Are you crazy? Who convinced you to make this decision? And then the lights flipped on and our TI started yelling. And I didn't have time to dwell on the thought of enlisting into the military. And was it tough and was it hard going through basic training? Yes, but at the same time, it was one of the best experiences of my life, as well as my military experience altogether. The hardships passed, the hard times passed, and when I came out, guess what? I got my degree. And I got my degree without having any debt attached to it. And I got my degree also with having had seen other places, having stepped out of my hometown, having stepped out of my comfort zone and growing into myself and meeting so many good people along the way and building really great friendships along the way. And that was all because I had to make the decision of what I wanted and what I should have. As an unknown person said, decision making is the hardest thing to do, especially when it's a choice between what we want and what we should have. Is there a decision that you've kind of been holding off on? You already know the answer to it, but for some reason, perhaps you have some fear, perhaps it's, but I really want to do this, but I know I should do this. I want to suggest in making your decision, make the decision that will put you in a place that you should be. And as I always love to share with everyone, we have greatness within us and we are capable of doing great things. So when you make those decisions, those major decisions, ask yourself, is this placing me in a place of greatness? Or is this kind of keeping me average? Is it keeping me comfortable? I mean, as I said earlier, you already know the answer to your decision. most of the times our hearts are true to what we really desire. So, make that decision that will put you in the place that you should be. Not in the place that you want to be, but in the place that you should be. If this video was helpful to you, or if this message, I like to say, was helpful to you, please hit the like button. Also subscribe so that you can see my future videos and share with others. I am that I am, Stephanie Miller, the manifestation of motivation, inspiration, transformation. Saying as always, ignite your greatness to live your greatest I am.